Alright everyone, yes we are. What's up guys, it's your boy McKinley Crain here, and today I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free movie review of the 2020 comedy horror anthology film, which is the Shudder original Scare Package. And like I said, Scare Package is a 2020 comedy anthology horror movie. That's like an anthology horror movie, which means that it's like it tells like it has like a whole bunch of different segments in it that are like kind of non-related if you know what I mean. Like they're just segments, like movies within movies. So there aren't really that many recurring characters in this movie, but there are two recurring characters in this movie. One is Chad Buckley, played by Jeremy King, and the other is Han, played by Han Tron. And so Chad Buckley is the owner and manager of like a film rental and store, and Han is basically his new employee. And they have, they're in some of the stories, and they have great chemistry, and basically a lot of the stuff that they do, like intervenes with like the other segments. So this movie has 7 segments that are directed by 7 different directors. They're all great, but some are better than others. I do have a personal favorite and a least favorite, but they're all great. This movie has a lot of nostalgic themes, and that's great. It has a lot of humor in it. It's a comedy horror. It's technically a horror movie. It is a horror movie, but it's like there's so much comedy in it that it's barely a horror movie and barely not a horror comedy movie. It's a comedy horror movie, but barely a comedy horror movie, barely not a comedy movie. But the comedy and the horror in this movie are great, and they work well together. This is one of those horror movies that makes fun of other horror movies, in its own kind of satirical way. It's great. This movie's great. A lot of the humor in this movie is like humor that could be considered dumb humor, but it's smart. It's like dumb smart humor. It's like smart dumb humor. It's dumb but in a good way, and it's also dumb but in a smart way, and it works. I love this movie. This movie's hilarious. It's thrilling. It's very smart. A lot of the humor in this movie is very smart, and a lot of the humor in this movie is very dumb, but like I said, the good kind of dumb, and it's dumb in a smart kind of way. This is a very enjoyable movie. And this isn't for everyone. A lot of people don't like this kind of movie, but I do. It's my cup of tea. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it is my cup of tea, and I love it, and it's great, and it's very enjoyable, and I loved it. I loved it. It was just as good as I expected it to be. It was very different than I expected it to be. It can at times be purposely confusing, and when it's confusing, it works. It works, and I love like the whole vibe of like this whole movie, even though most of the segments have different vibes from each other, like, than the others. My personal favorite segment from this movie would have to be Manly, aka M.A.N.L.Y. It's just it was just the it just had the smartest kind of humor in this one, and it was the most enjoyable. Um, it like that segment particularly had, like, like I said, the best humor in this movie compared to all the other segments. I mean, all of the segments are great. It's just that some are better than others. Well, actually, none are like equally great. But like, they're none are tied. But like, they're all great. And this movie's great. And this movie is a very wacky movie, and there's a lot of wacky humor and a lot of wacky, like, just situations and horror situations and thrilling situations in this movie. And I love this movie. I it's not very popular. I had to search for like anthology horror films to like find it, and so that's how I found out. That's how I found out about it and decided to watch it, and I loved it. I think I already said this, but I saw this movie a couple weeks ago. I think around around like 3, almost 4 weeks ago. I saw it at the beginning of January. So yeah. And it's great. It's really fun. It's not everybody's, like, kind of movie, but it is my kind of movie, and I know that there are a lot of people like me who like this kind of thing. Um it's it's uh it's great, and I love it, and I'm going to give it an 86% out of 100%, which is the equivalent of an A minus. Like, subscribe to the notification squad. I will return.